Hello, welcome to the Sphinx Gamer podcast, everybody.
Cheers.
Welcome. We've been on vacation or doing something. I've been sick. I've been doing a whole lot of working. Are you gonna?
Been tied up. Been wrapped up like a mummy.
Been wrapped up like a mummy. Yeah. You gonna sing the Star Spangled Banner as I go over my life?
No. That was the last time.
I was laughing when I got your text the other day. The day right after, I'm like, it's fine. I didn't really want to talk about it anyway.
I was like, that probably came off as really crude and like esoteric, very narcissistic, like, oh well, enough about you or enough about me. Let's talk about you. Tell me, what do you think about me?
Yeah. So. I'm back. You're back. We've been working, right?
Yeah, working very hard. Working hard for the money.
I know. Me too.
Work hard, play hard.
But it's March now, middle of March.
That's right, March Madness.
March Madness. Mm-hmm. They have something going on at my job about it. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to pick random teams and see if I win. Because why not? I don't know anything about these schools. I don't care about U of A. I'm not even from Arizona. I'm going to choose Duke and UNC because I hear they're good. So I'm going to have them in it to win it, and we'll see what happens. So I think that starts tomorrow, and that's really not even... I don't even care about it. It's all
getting into gambling, I see.
There's no money on the table as far as I know. Is that a hookah thingy?
Yeah, this is actually Philip Morrison's answer to an electronic cigarette.
I got the e-hookah. They sell them in Phoenix.
On
Southern Avenue and 40th Street, I think. I used to work down there in the hood, the commercial district there. And I walked in the convenience store. I'm like, "What is that?" And she's like, "Oh, it's a e-hookah. It comes in a variety of different flavors. You have the orange Kush. You have the watermelon flavor." I'm like, "Stop right there. I'll take the orange Kush." And I have it in the bag somewhere. It's in one of my boxes. We're on the floor today. We got to get comfortable because we're gonna be celebrating St. Patrick's Day, and you're gonna be doing a little cigarette.
I feel like I should be holding an NES controller while in this position. It's kind of awkward, like.
And I look like some kind of model. I'm just chilling here.
Yes, it's like we have Mr. March here, ladies.
Yep,
that's right.
So, what else has been going on with you?
The Renaissance Festival is only going on for 2 more weekends. So.
I have a plan to come out there.
Wonderful.
Somebody told me that they might have funnel cake there. So, do they have funnel cake there?
This is true.
Oh my God.
We actually get asked this a lot. Really, we guide people in the direction of what food they're searching for. I feel kind of bad because sometimes when it's really busy, they'll spend like 25 minutes waiting in line just to be like, where are funnel cakes? And I'm just like, yes, there are funnel cakes there.
Oh.
If we don't know where something is, there's a gentleman that I call the Lord of the Ices.
The Lord of the Ices.
Because he sells thousands of ices a day. It's insane.
It's been years since I've had funnel cake. I really need funnel cake.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely. It's like if you took a fried pancake and a donut and mix the two together, just absolutely.
So I think I'm going to take a Craigslist date, go down there for the day,
absolutely.
For the weekend, see if I get myself some funnel cake, then come back.
Get yourself down to Queen's Kitchen, shameless plug, but hey, that's where I'll be.
Okay.
So be sure to come by, say hi, get yourself some delicious food.
I gotta see I know a wench that works there, right?
Yeah, you can be like, hey, I know her. She's my chambermaid. Like, no, oh, you must be talking about Leah. Okay, yeah. Come on.
You must be talking about. I wouldn't have any other chambermaids there.
That's right. I'm a specialized chambermaid. You have your caterers. But then you have your chambermaids.
All right, good to know.
We'll throw my card up on the website.
Excellent. People might be interested in your services. They live in the area.
That's right.
So while we were gone, I guess lots of things have happened outside of our lives in the video game industry and such.
That's
like that.
Right. I mean, there was that lull, that like period of lull where it was like almost not worth it, and then all of a sudden, bam! I mean, like just a lot of bricks hit the shit. really, I was trying not to cuss and it backfired. But
it's already been labeled as explicit. Yeah. I just see it right now. A lot has gone on in the industry, and a lot has gone on in our lives. And what better day to reflect upon something such as this than on this glorious day of St. Patrick's Day? Yes.
I beat at least 3 snakes on my way over here.
Very good.
Staying up with tradition.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Action packed. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That must be something that just went over my head. You beat 3 snakes. Is that Indiana Jones? No.
No, it's like the history of St. Patrick's Day. They banished the snakes from Ireland.
I live in a hole. I live in a hole.
That's okay. History isn't very interesting in the first place.
Some history, maybe.
Well, some history, absolutely.
But industry news, I got an email from E3. We did not get accepted. So we will not be going to E3.
Darn shame.
Yeah, they want 10,000 unique views a month for websites, and that's just a whole lot. We're nowhere close to it because we're relatively new, but maybe next year.
That's, where am I going to get 10,000 grandmas? Hi, Grandma.
Hi, Mom. So that's that. No E3. But there's another convention on the East Coast. I haven't decided if I'm going to go out to that one yet because it's all the way far out and I have to take time from work, stuff like that. But that's next month or in a couple weeks. But then there was ZapCon that I was telling you about earlier before the show.
That sounds like an absolute blast. I love pinball. I mean, like, I'm a pinball wizard.
And arcades. And it's a weekend of fun.
You take me to an arcade, I'll get one of those unlimited cards. You know, you get like 3 hours or something like that.
I think
Castles and Coasters does something like that. Yes, those things with the buttons on them. You slide a card and press a button. No more coins.
Yep.
They've taken the joy out of coins, but it's still really enjoyable. Castles and Coasters has a floor dedicated to pinball machines.
Yes,
which is absolutely spectacular.
And I think don't they have a mini golf place around there too?
They do. It's really beautiful.
Oh.
It's really beautiful. They do have the coaster and the castle.
Boom.
The coaster is it's a little lackluster, but it would be exciting for a child or someone who's never been on a roller coaster before.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's another place I guess I have to get myself out to. That's okay. But ZapCon is next month sometime. And then after that is Comic-Con. What do you think about Comic-Con?
I have been to Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah?
And you know what? I worked extremely hard on my costume. Extremely hard. I mean, like...
What was your costume
It was
this year?
spot on, and nobody recognized me. Not a single person recognized me.
That means you were hardcore.
Exactly. I mean, nobody knew. Okay. Okay, have you seen... You've seen Shaun of the Dead, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank goodness. Okay. You know the nerdy guy who was Sean's ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend, or had a crush. They lived together in an apartment.
Sure.
With
yeah.
That, he had the glasses, and then he got his guts ripped out of his torso while he was trying to escape the bar. But that guy.
Yeah.
Well, he's actually a director. Okay. In Britain, and he did a show called, I believe, Psychoville, and it was an absolutely incredible show. I wish it would pick back up. I wish he would do it again. I think he stopped after 2 seasons, and that was it. And there's a lot of non-closure. There were a lot of... It was basically a town of people who had mental disorders, but they somehow still functioned in society.
Yeah.
There was a maniacal clown who would do birthday parties, and he would just talk like this, you little brats. Like a kid would come up and kick him. You suck,
Yeah.
And there's a mock commercial on YouTube that his motto is whatever his name is, the clown. We keep your kids quiet.
Okay.
There was a mother and son combo, and of course the mother was played by a man, as is British humor, right? And they were very close to each other, but they were serial killers, right? And they were both trying to become famous for being serial killers. So they would end up just killing random people all the time, and even intentionally trying to get caught, but it never quite worked out. So in a strange way, you almost had a little empathy for these serial killers, like, oh, they try so hard, but they just can't do it because they're so bumbling. It's like if Steve Urkel and his mother were trying to be serial killers, like it would just completely bomb every single time. But there was one gentleman who had, I believe he had schizophrenia. I don't remember exactly what triggered it, but the character was played by the guy who directed it, the guy from Shaun of the Dead. Mm-hmm. And he would have this hallucination where all the sounds would drown out around his ears, and this sort of Silent Hill style sound would start playing in his ears. And he would get the vision of himself dressed up as what was known as the Silent Singer. And in order for him to get rid of the Silent Singer, he would have to go, "Not now, Silent Singer! Not now, Silent Singer!" So you can imagine how it would look if he's in a library and he sees the Silent Singer and suddenly starts screaming, "Silent Singer, stop singing."
So.
But basically, I went as the Silent Singer. And the Silent Singer had a pigtail wig, like Pippi Longstocking style braided pigtail wig, a pair of giant red framed glasses, this like really weird like grandma-ish pullover sky blue sweater, and these long maroon pants and ballerina slippers and a pair of marching band gloves. And the character's teeth was really sharp, and he would stand there and like mock sing into a fake microphone. Like he would hold his hand like he's holding a microphone, but he's not holding a microphone. And he would be like, like 80s rocker, like put his heart into it, like, just like you can't see it on mic, but he's like, he's just putting his heart into it, right? So I tracked down like all the components to make this perfect costume. I even get a little boombox that has the sound from the show, so that I could play the sound on the boombox and then act out like the Silent Singer. Yeah. And hopefully, my hope was someone would say, "Not now, Silent Singer," and I could turn the music off and stop doing it.
But nobody actually.
Nobody did. Nobody did. Even I got a lot of people asking what I was, and I couldn't even explain it. They had never heard of it, which is a darn shame because it is a really good show.
Whoa.
So, yes, all that from Comic-Con. Yes, I did have an experience with Comic-Con.
I'm so sorry that you were not recognized.
That's okay. Fame comes at a small price.
Indeed. Maybe this year.
Yeah. Maybe this year, yes.
Have you planned out your costume for this year? You thought about it?
Goodness,
time goes so fast.
That's true. That's one of those things you have where you just like sit back, kick back, it could be like a bubble bath or you're in a recliner, relaxing outside, and you think, what would I dress up as at Comic-Con?
I'd go as me.
You'd go as you?
I'd go as me. I don't think I've never really gotten into the cosplay scene before. Mm-hmm. Maybe, I don't know, maybe one day I will.
You could be one of like the patrons who gets like his photo taken with someone who's dressed up, but it's like a really awkward costume, so you're just like kind of
like an extra in a movie. Yeah, I'm an extra in this guy's show. Oh, who's that? I don't know.
Like 7 press passes around your neck.
Yep. The biggest cosplay I ever did was dressed up as Darth Vader for Halloween.
Okay.
That's about it.
That's warranted.
Yeah.
That is a very cool cosplay.
But it's St. Patrick's Day. We've got 2 beers in front of us.
That's right.
What's going on here?
Yes. Shameless plug. Gotta love it. This is from the Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. These guys are right in town, huh? Actually, they're in Chico, California. Good old Northern California.
Oh, okay.
Where the hops are plenty. And sometimes there's beer, too. Okay. So
I've got the single hop IPA, and then you have
wild hop IPA.
And I just totally drank it out of
the
the bottle
The
there.
Idaho single malt, or single hop, excuse me. Oh goodness.
Look at
Here,
that.
let me show you how to pour a beer. Let's check this out. I am like... And then you gotta give it a little head.
She's a
and
professional.
Bam! That's right. Well, I actually got to serve beer to people at age 16. I just couldn't go from out of behind the counter.
I wish we had a video of this moment.
I know, right? Maybe a cell phone selfie.
A cell phone selfie.
Yeah, cell phone selfie.
You have a new cell phone, so let's test that.
I do. You know how hard it is to track down one of these phones? These are like the Nokia 2600s of smartphones. But I found one. I found one. That's right. So I finally have a new phone, a little more connected. And I guess we'll get the quality of this camera. Okay. And one. Oh, wait. Okay. There's one shot. And these are just going to be unrehearsed shots. They're going to be the worst shots of two people in front of two beer mugs you've ever seen.
There we go. Wow, you look good.
Would you quit talking to your beer like that?
Yes. And to whatever.
To the gaming world.
To the gaming world.
May she prosper.
Rip
Yes.
in peace, Maxis.
God save Maxis. Okay, so
So there goes one piece of news while we were gone, right?
this one I'm gonna try a little bit of yours because I'm curious what Idaho hops taste like.
I have so much fuzz.
Okay, not bad. This one is actually okay. What I was explained was this is a hop that was discovered in Mexico that's fairly uncommon, that crossbred with marijuana.
That tastes like a traditional IPA that I've had before.
Okay.
This one tastes more like a regular beer.
Like it's kind of stewy.
Yeah. It's Sam Adams, Boston Lagerish.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite beer.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm glad it worked
Actually,
out
it's
like
Guinness. Guinness might be my favorite. Which
Guinness,
my favorite bar in Mesa, Old Chicago. They do their beer tours. I'll throw out a plug to them. They do mini beer tours for random parts of the year. Like they had Cinco de Mayo. They do St. Patrick's. They do Oktoberfest and stuff like that. And they have a bunch of, the very well-known national beer, stuff like that. And then they have the more localized kind of brews. And if you can drink them all, you get a free T-shirt or something of that nature.
Wow. Something to vomit on after
Something
all
to
the
vomit
beer.
on, especially if you're going for the World Beer Tour, which is drinking like 300 or 400 different kinds of beers.
Oh, man. Wow.
But you're limited to about 3 or 4 a night, so you don't think about going in there and drinking all of them, Leah, because I bet you could do that and survive.
Oh, goodness. Well, yes.
You're
I don't know if I
Renaissance
should.
fair.
I don't know if I should be proud to say that. I come from a family of alcoholics, but hey, alcohol is fun. The cause of and the solution to all of our problems.
Indeed.
That's right.
No complaints.
I'm gonna pour one out for my homie Maxis.
Of course.
Absolutely.
I was so saddened to hear that, but I think deep down, I kind of saw that one coming. The redundancy that EA is trying to kind of, get rid of. They had the Sim Studio, which is something else over at EA that was doing the Sims franchise. They were involved in the Sims 3, while the actual Maxis Studio that made the Sims and the Sims 2 did not. And I don't know. It looks like the actual Maxis Studio hasn't been involved in anything since Darkspore, which was a terrible game. Spore was a terrible game. I was so disappointed in Spore. I ranted for so long about that game because I had that pre-ordered, and I could just rant so much about Spore. But
I wish you would more.
it would be an entire episode. That's for the after hours. after I've had my fill of beer, I can go on about sport.
There we go. Stay tuned. Stay tuned
for the
folks.
Sport
rant.
Stay tuned. But my heart goes out to all the people that, of course, when you get laid off, you lose your job. But I'm sure they'll figure out something. They'll either go to a new studio, or they'll go to the Sim studio to make games, or they'll be transitioned somewhere else at EA. But man, this is a death of a brand that's been around for years.
I know, right? It'd be like if Oreo cookie.
Exactly. If Nabisco decided to cut Oreos, like no more
Budweiser
Oreos.
closes its last plant. You know?
It's like WTF. I mean, this is going to be the same product that we know, but it's going to be made differently. I mean, is it going to still keep that heart and soul that we have come to know about it over the years? Will it still be there? I mean, I haven't played The Sims 4, but I did play The Sims 3, and I wasn't really a fan compared to The Sims 2, which was more tightened and very much stuck with the heart and soul of the original Sims game.
Mm-hmm.
So
my hope is that they actually give the rights out to the license for Maxis games, so that people could maybe do an online adaptation of SimCity 4 and maybe even SimCity 3000. Or Sims Online games.
Yeah, they did the Sims Online back a few years ago, which I didn't have the chance to play because at the time I was Packard Bell, slow ass DSL, so I wasn't playing anything online.
Oh, Packard Bell.
Yeah, but speaking of, you said the SimCity. There's a new kind of game that's out right now. It's called Cities something.
Cities. I think it started with Cities XL, it's Cities
something that just came
now.
out, and people on Twitch are streaming this game, and it looks and plays exactly like how you would want SimCity to play, and I hear it's a very good game.
Oh yeah, you can have off ramps on the middle of suspension bridges.
They say it's like a road architect kind of game.
Yeah.
It's crazy roads. I love SimCity. I love the whole idea of that kind of simulation, and it's always awesome to kind of build your own roads and your own kind of infrastructure and everything like that. I'm a little nerd like that. I like that.
Well, it's a sign of the times.
Yeah.
I'd say with Maxis's final SimCity, the online version that lest we not speak of, it was kind of like taking an old horse out to pasture, if you get my drift. So out of the ashes
like
of
that,
the phoenix comes the egg.
There's a meme picture online that shows an EA head with a gun and other like little kind of avatars with gunshots in their heads sitting in a ditch somewhere and their heads are representing the brands and the logos of the various EA franchises that have kind of been shot out.
Watch, next thing you know, an ISIS video is going to come out of them holding a gun up to a Maxis logo in an orange jumpsuit.
Yeah. But about the SimCity Online, I could rant about that as well. At least regarding the gameplay mechanic of an always online kind of thing. I mean, why can't I just play by myself?
Exactly.
Why can't I do couch co-op?
Exactly.
Why do I have to connect myself always online? Now I'm not just restrained to sitting in front of my TV and everything. I have to make sure I have internet. I have to make sure the damn Wi-Fi actually works and the Ethernet cord is hooked up correctly. And what I mean is just to make sure that I get the internet connection consistent so that it can play the game.
You have to have good cocks to play with yourself.
You gotta have good cocks, and good cocks is hard. It's $50 a month. Cox, yeah, that's the name of the ISP out here, like Comcast and stuff like that, and it's called Cox, and it's $50 a month for good Cox.
I will say though, compared to Comcast, Cox gives me a nerd boner for sure.
They haven't given me one yet.
Compared to Comcast,
yeah.
Cox is screaming fast, like Jet Eagle fast.
I've seen that. I mean, they are ready to take on Google when they come into town. They're offering what 1 gigabyte speed or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Got the advertisements on the light rail that they're showing gig life. I don't know what that means. I don't even know what my speed is. It doesn't even feel like I'm getting the full thing because it's so damn slow.
Right.
I mean, it might be my laptop too. There's a lot of porn on my laptop, so it kind of it slows the whole thing down, and then, you know.
Welcome to Night Sphinx.
Welcome to the Night
The most
Tomb.
in-depth. What's that new show coming out where they're in a taxi cab and they confess in the cab or something like that?
I don't have cable.
Thank goodness. You're lucky.
But that reminds me of something else that I want to get to. What is it, the show?
Interviewing, right? You had an idea of someone to interview. I have an idea of someone to interview. There we go. We can do a late night interview.
Yes.
With, let's see. You had a possible connection with the president of, what was it, Indiecade? Zapcade?
Sure. Yeah, Indiecade. I interviewed Stephanie at the show. I don't really know her too well. Why?
Or I was referring to the pinball one.
Oh, the pinball one.
The pinball one, yes.
Can't comment on that yet because it's something like that is still in the works. We've just been emailing so far, but
excellent,
we'll see.
Excellent.
Just have to wait and see for that one, at least for the public.
Yes, I'm going to try to get the rights to interview a very prominent video game store owner. So, any locals may know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think that would be so cool. I think nerd game kind of geeky places around in Phoenix would be, I think, to feature them would be cool. Even interview them or maybe get them as a guest on the show.
Absolutely.
Share some beers. Hopefully they don't drink everything, and
definitely
they'll be cool in the studio. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So,
cable. Can I say my thought about cable? Or do you have something?
Please.
Xbox One or Microsoft just released the Sling app a couple days ago or yesterday.
And what's the Sling app do?
Sling app is the alternative to cable. Like, when I grew up, you used to watch cable on the TV. Well, today, you use a video game console to watch cable on your TV. And the Sling app is basically live TV through various different channels. I haven't actually fully checked it out yet as of this recording, but I'm going to check it out because you can get a 30-day trial and then it's $20 a month. But you can get like live channels like A&E and stuff like that, NBC, CBS. So it's not Hulu where you're getting the episodes as they air. This is live TV now getting streamed to the Xbox One via the Sling app. Apparently it's been out on the PC since February, and this is something that is out now. So
interesting. So you can watch television shows in real time as opposed to downloading them.
I think this is the channel feed in real time.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you could story sync with The Walking Dead.
Yes, definitely.
A lot of people are looking for that online.
It's the alternative to the PlayStation View. Sony's going to release that, which is their live streaming channel kind of app, later this year. Which I got an email about. It says PlayStation View is now available in Philadelphia. I was about to email back saying, I don't live in Philadelphia. Why are you telling me this? But it might be out in certain parts of the country. It might be out in certain parts of the world. Right now, again, as of now, I haven't really quite checked it out because I live under a rock. So I have to get out of the rock. I'm slowly getting out of the rock, which is why we haven't been doing the show lately because I've been under the rock. Not feverishly masturbating, but just doing other things. So
just feverish.
Just feverishly doing other things. Maybe masturbating, I don't know. But what was your thought?
My thought, well...
You forgot.
I did forget.
That's okay. What have you been playing? I'll ask you a question so that...
honestly, I wish I could play it. Again, It's one of those things.
It's not enough time.
It's not enough time, and it's not enough access to the right technology. I'm going for internet and then laptop next. So I got my cell phone, and so I'm trying to move up.
89 and 96. I understand those are very tough years.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
You're trying to,
hold on, my page was vibrating. Actually, I've been keeping up with Five Nights at Freddy's 3. It's been released.
Mm-hmm. How's that?
It is brutal, absolutely brutal.
What do you mean by brutal?
take anything that you've ever thought about Five Nights at Freddy's and just throw it out the window.
Which is
no
nothing.
matter how hardcore you think you are.
It's nothing.
Like you didn't even get close.
So this is
Didn't even get
completely
close.
different, right?
And it makes sense. And it's the craziest thing.
That's great. That's re-innovation for that franchise.
But it's so creepy. Like, Scott really outdid himself this time.
I like creepy.
I mean, we're talking like Five Nights at Freddy 1 graphics. You return back to actually looking at the cameras. Basically, you're not at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza anymore. Okay, this is set 30 years after the events that happened at Freddy's. These murders at Freddy's.
And you're still working at the pizza shop.
And well, actually, what they did was they took the props and costumes from the old Five Nights at Freddy's and based a horror attraction based on a true story events that happened with the history of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay.
The problem is the original killer is still haunting the same building that they refurbished. I'm going to give away a spoiler because if you don't know by now, what the hell are you doing? It's been out for
You're
long
like
enough.
me.
Okay. I think we've touched on it before that if you get caught by one of the animatronics, one of the Chuck E. Cheese style animatronics, you get stuffed, quote unquote, into a suit, and it sometimes kills you because there are wires and beams and things like that in there. And so the entire time you're picturing, okay, it's like if you're like, you open up a Chuck E. Cheese mascot, there's going to be a skeleton in there, and you take a human and you just shove the human into the skeleton and the wires and all of that, and
Might cut you.
And you're thinking like, okay, so that's how it happened, and no, that's not how it happened. What ended up happening was the suits. There were two suits that instead of manually putting in an endoskeleton, it was already inside it, and it had a spring trap, so to speak. Okay. Actually, what the name of the character is based on, because what ends up happening is it's an old mechanism, and you use this crank to retract all the gears and the beams and wires so that a human can fit inside. And under horrible circumstances and notorious with Five Nights at Freddy's, if you just so happen to accidentally activate the suit while you're in it, the endoskeleton basically shoves inside of you while you're still in the suit. And the owners at Five Nights at Freddy's were nice enough to conveniently put safe rooms around Five Nights at Freddy's where you could go to safely hide and die and bleed to death without, like, scarring any children for life.
That's nice.
So basically, the children that were murdered in Five Nights at Freddy's get their revenge by scaring their murderer into one of these old spring trap suits that was behind a boarded up wall, and he accidentally sets off the spring trap and gets killed and suffers the same fate. But he's behind the wall in the safe room, so nobody knew that he was there, but he's an animatronic. So they find him behind the wall, and he's activated. So your only enemy is this one animatronic. The old animatronics actually serve as gaming mechanisms, which is really impressive. There's a ventilation system where Springtrap can crawl through, and you have to lock the doors of the ventilation system. It's like a throwback to Five Nights at Freddy's 1 with the door on each side. You have these two vents. You also need to keep the ventilation active because it's such an old building. I guess the explanation is it's toxic to you, so they have to pump in oxygen, to make sure that people can breathe. Yeah,
okay.
Like really, yeah, they were never too keen on public safety. And then you have the camera system, which actually plays a very vital role, just like Five Nights at Freddy's 1, where you have to persistently watch him on the camera. the audio system. Did I mention the audio system?
You have not mentioned the audio system.
I have not. Okay, I think I mentioned the camera system twice.
Yes.
I did. Yes.
The ventilation system.
Wonderful.
The system.
Sierra Nevada beer, everyone.
Indeed.
Excuse me. There's a sound system. Okay. And since Springtrap is like sort of like this haunted killer, he's also technically an animatronic. So the animatronics are programmed to go seek out children and entertain them. And there's a spooky sound effect generator as part of the camera system. And you can use the sound effect generator to lure Springtrap into different rooms because his animatronic side is forcing him to go seek out the children and entertain him. But his psychotic killer side is trying to get to you in your office. And so you have to balance these three things out. And the original characters serve as hazards for causing errors in the systems, which cause error in camera where you can't see, error in audio where you can't make the spooky sounds, and error in ventilation where if you don't fix it in time you lose because you suffocate. Very interesting gameplay mechanics.
Yes,
there's a lot of jump scares. They're really bizarro, just visually delicious jump scares. I mean, that's how I would like to describe it. Hi. My texting sound effect is actually the Balloon Boy sound effect from Five Nights at Freddy's. So if anyone heard that,
creepy,
right? What are the coincidences? But yeah, you have to keep all these in balance, and different hauntings from the old animatronics malfunction different combinations of things. So you have to balance the jump scares, balance the malfunctioning ventilation systems, and balance Springtrap trying to come to your office and kill you. It's an amazing game. Done extremely well. The early version was very buggy, but as far as I've heard, as far as I know, he's fixed a majority of the bugs. There's still one or two tweaks, that he has to get out there. Okay. But an absolutely amazing game, and definitely worth the price. It's only $7.99.
You're a fan.
You can't. I know, right? So
you need to get on that and play it.
One of these days. I won't be no Markiplier, but yeah, the game will definitely freak me out.
Okay, very nice.
Best part is when Freddy kind of trudges along like a malfunctioning animatronic, but he's not really there. It's just a ghost. So you see his microphone bobbing in the distance.
Whoa.
It's creepy. It really is. You're trying to do all these things, and it's like, Freddy's doing that, and there's like glowing eyes peeking over the window.
I have to add it to my list one day.
Please do.
Yeah, add all the other games that I need to play from your time period onto my list as well.
Like, it is a time thing. I mean, you really need the time. Yeah, it's hard.
You need the time, and you need. I think you need the time.
I have at the foot of my bed my Nintendo 3DS, and I could easily open it up and finish the very last episode of Phoenix Wright. I paid for it. The system's on. Still haven't gotten around to it.
I understand that. I did a Twitch stream on, I think it was Sunday night. Mm-hmm. And now that I have the nice computer, that's a good streaming thing. And thank you to all the people that joined. I think we got a few people. Played with some guy for a little while. We were driving. We were Forza Horizon. I decided to play the Xbox 360 version, and look at that! Yeah, the beer. So we had a fun time, and hopefully maybe I'll get back on to doing some more streaming, and that'll help get through the games I need to get through, and also to have some fun.
There we go.
Folks, get them involved in the community and stuff like that. So
there we go.
And maybe if I can figure out the PC streaming thing on that other computer, see about doing other stream games too. But it's so nice. This is coming from the Stream Greenlight program or something like that. Five Nights at Freddy's, or is it on the Steam store?
Yes, the Steam Greenlight community. It was greenlit and then put on the store when it was released.
Okay, That's so cool.
Yeah, it was released and it was pulled for like 2 days after release. Like 2 days after release, it was pulled. So very few people actually had a legit copy at the time. But it was a very buggy copy. It was actually borderline unplayable. I mean, like to get the right end, because there's actually multiple endings.
And that's always cool.
That is always cool in a video game. So it increases replayability. But there were so many bugs in order to get to the actual ending. There were a lot of soft locks in the game.
Okay.
That made it so that you couldn't really progress.
Right.
So he had to fix those. So everyone got like really excited. I mean, it was like a bunch of hungry, ravenous, starving dogs. 2 steaks gets thrown in the entire pack, and then they just look up and it's like, okay, you can have your steak 2 weeks later, or however long it took to release. It was like, teeth grinding, but absolutely well worth it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very well worth it. The Duke Nukem Forever of horror games. Yeah.
Duke Nukem Forever.
Except it was worth it.
Without Duke. And without Duke.
And without Duke. Could you imagine Duke Nukem and Five Nights at Freddy merging?
Yeah. No,
you're right. LGR, any comments?
Do excuse me while I'm drinking. But my nose is still a little stopped up. I know I've been sniffling. I apologize for that.
The pollen count is
it's the allergies.
Astronomical.
It's crazy. Like, why? There's no natural grass out here, so what the hell is going on?
It's the pollen. I don't have allergies myself, but there's so much pollen in the air. It's raining now, and you can see like puddles of pollen. Like it just floats right on top of the puddles.
I googled it
pretty
earlier.
actually.
It's pretty.
Yeah, in a sense. I mean,
the Weather Channel has the rating at like 10.0 in the red as far as the pollen level is concerned.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
I live in the desert.
Stay indoors, kids.
I need to wear like a mask or something to prevent Ebola and all that other jazz.
I know, right? We're going to turn into the new China here in Arizona.
No place is safe. I don't even know what's going on. All day I walk around, nose is running or stopped up, and it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But, fun fact I just learned, salt and water are natural antihistamines for the body.
Really?
Allergy medications, it just masks what your body's really trying to cry for, which, believe it or not, is dehydration.
So you take a placebo, you drink your water,
and sprinkle some salt on your tongue, and according to the blog post and actually multiple websites I went on to, it's the excess water will drain out the excess salt. But you need the salt and the water to kind of balance an equilibrium in your body as far as the cells in your body and the blood and everything like that. So it's very interesting.
That's essentially what Gatorade is.
Yeah.
When they say electrolyte, it's just you got sugar. I think they put like potassium and stuff like that in there now. But
and that's
for the
thing
most
too.
part, it's the salt. Yeah, it's the salt that's important.
I think back to the older days when we didn't have high fructose corn syrup in the soda and all that other chemicals that are now in the food, like were diseases and sicknesses. I feel like they're more prevalent today than they once were.
Yeah,
Maybe because of the foods and the stuff like that. I don't know. But beer kind of makes all those problems go away.
That's right. I won't think about the anti-vaxxers right now.
No, thank you. I'm good. Ignorance is bliss for me.
So, someone had a very special birthday yesterday.
I wouldn't know. I live under a rock.
Oh, well, EverQuest turned 15.
Oh, my God!
Oh, my gosh.
EverQuest.
Pretty soon he'll be driving a car and going off to college.
Uh-huh.
I hope EverQuest marries a nice router.
Probably won't. I think it's a whore. Is it a guy or a girl? Do you know?
As long as Fiona V is on the cover, probably a girl. Mm-hmm.
EverQuest went through some hard times. We were talking about it last month.
That's right.
Who knows the future of that entire franchise?
I don't even know if it's up.
And you didn't even do the poor girl justice for the birthday party. Where are all her friends?
I know, right? I couldn't find Fiona V.
Okay.
Actually, I'm wondering what the model who played Fiona V is up to these days. That might kind of interesting, you know, like a TLC behind the scenes or something.
She's either a drug addict or
after she fell off the wagon, and she drank lots of mead.
Mm-hmm.
Got addicted to World of Warcraft.
I have no idea. Actually, honestly, I can't even picture the woman in my head. What is she? A well-known model or an actress? Or no?
For its time, I mean, it's like saying Farrah Fawcett is a well-known model, you know.
Farrah Fawcett is well-known.
Well, no, who am I thinking of?
She was Catwoman.
Okay, yes, but, you know, starting to show their age.
Right,
like,
so, you know, for its time.
EverQuest is that slut that everyone remembers that they went to, you know, that one
first time.
Like, yeah, it was like, I remember. I'll never have that. I'll never have anything that good again. You were my first and my best. Right?
Sounds like a song lyric. I've probably heard it. So we couldn't invite her because we don't know where she's at.
That's right.
But happy birthday to EverQuest. 15 years, you said?
15 years.
Whoa.
That means I was 15 when I played EverQuest.
Wow.
Seems just like yesterday.
You know, good games, they always make us think that, huh? Like, it just seems just like last week I played that. And ever since then I played trash.
Could you imagine trying to do an online game with like the leveling system that EverQuest had like back in the day? I mean, you had to devote like 18 hours of solid leveling to get like one solid bar of experience in the really high levels. It was like you were committed to this.
It was a heck of a grind.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You had to devote your time. You had to sacrifice going to the bathroom. You had to time your hot pockets just right in between going and getting her roses and rubbing her feet. Which was
EverQuest.
Yes, which was EverQuest.
And she's now 15, so
that's yes. Oh, mercy.
She's now 15.
She's barely legal.
She's still...
I downloaded her the other day.
Yeah.
On Torrenter.
That reminds me of an MMO. What's it called? It's some more game news. It's Neverwinter, which is made by Cryptic Studios, same guys that did Champions Online.
Okay.
And before that, City of Heroes, which they need to bring back. Neverwinter is actually another MMO that's coming to consoles, it seems. So that's always exciting, right?
Yeah,
I
suppose
going
so.
to be good or not. I'll play it for you.
Definitely, get back to me on that.
But I'm super excited. You know of Elder Scrolls Online.
Mm-hmm.
It's been delayed for the MMO version of the consoles. They finally have got the dates settled down. They're going free to play, actually, for PC and whatnot, I think next month or later this month. So, you know, say what you want, whether the game was a success or not, but obviously they don't care if you pay $14.99 a month anymore. Of course, I guess you still can if you want to get that premium level, because I know, I think Rift does something similar like that. Mm-hmm. But Elder Scrolls Online is coming to PS4 and Xbox One. I'll play that for you as well. But
Excellent.
I'm very looking forward to it, because I don't do PC
I might get into Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
I liked Elder Scrolls.
Oblivion was my favorite game.
Mm-hmm. That was the 360 version?
It came out for PC. It was Elder Scrolls 4.
Oh, okay.
So it was after Morrowind, which I actually didn't play until after I played Oblivion. And I tell you, those are just some crazy fun games. It's unbelievable. Skyrim was awesome, but I think Oblivion's my favorite. The lines in that game, and Patrick Stewart in the beginning as a Ural Septum. I mean, that game was my life, and I love it.
Patrick Stewart voiced in
Patrick Stewart, and Sean Bean is also in the game too. He's Martin Septum.
What?
Yes.
Sean Bean?
Sean
really?
Bean.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, they had some really good actors, and they didn't really have any big voice actors, any big actors in Skyrim. I don't think. Not that I can remember off the top of my head. Oh, they did. They had what's his name? Battlestar Galactica, the guy with the eye patch, Michael Hogan. I think that's his name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was a voice. He voiced General. Wow, I can't even remember his name, but he was in Skyrim. Yeah, but Oblivion had Patrick Stewart and Sean Bean.
Ooh. You know what? I would bet a finger that Tom Kenny may have done a voice or two, and Phil Lamar.
Yeah.
Yeah, their voices are everywhere. It might be possible.
In Oblivion, they had a lot of voices. They had the same voices for different characters. That was always fun. But yeah, I think that's one of my favorite games of all time. It's definitely on my list.
In your top 5?
My top 5? It's in my top 5.
And not number 1?
That's always so hard for me to kind of get that on the list because there are great games that I've had a really good time with that I just couldn't put one above the other. It's like I had great fun.
Okay, so
I don't know.
Satan walks up to you. He says, "I'm gonna steal your soul unless you tell me what your number 1 favorite game is right now." Okay, go.
He would take my soul because it would take me like 5 minutes in order to answer the question because I really liked Batman Arkham City too, or Arkham Asylum. I think I liked Arkham Asylum more than Arkham City. Oblivion.
I've always wanted to play the Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, that Arkham Knight comes out later this year. It's going to be amazing. You get to play in the Batmobile.
Oh, right on.
Boom! Yeah.
Which Batmobile?
Whatever they want. I don't know.
Ooh, maybe they'll
Batmobile.
have multiple Batmobiles to pick from. Mm-hmm.
You know a little bit about Batman?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Batman animated series. Like when I think Batman or Batmobile, I think Batman animated series.
Yeah. I think that was my first foray into the Batman universe. I never really touched so much into the comics, but definitely the animated series and that entire DC animated series line that I guess ended with Justice League. I watched them all. That and the Superman one too.
They did a really good job with the Batman animated series. I mean, it still holds up today.
Yeah.
I remember they came out with one called Batman the Brave and the Bold. And
I remember that one too. And I said I couldn't watch it. I was like, this is disgusting.
Bad. Yeah. It was like, it made Star Wars Episode 1 look like The Godfather.
It is. You're talking about Liam Neeson.
Yeah. Well.
He's the only good thing about Episode 1, actually. Everything else I can pretty much sleep through. But the DC animated movies of the 90s, great. I like Superman. I thought Superman was pretty cool, too.
Superman
like
was
both.
cool.
Yeah.
Not Superman 64, though.
No, not Superman 64.
Not Superman 64.
I could.
If I wanted to catch rings, I would play Sonic. Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog for the 360.
Now you're talking.
That would be a fun game to play. Co-op. Yeah.
That's right.
I died for the 100th time. You take over. I'll just sit back and drink beer.
Here, I'll play player 2. I think Tails is invincible. I'll take care of this boss.
Mm-hmm. Your favorite game?
Dungeon Keeper.
Oh my god.
Easily, hands down. Like, it's therapeutic. I mean, it is so dated. But it's just so therapeutic. And on those rare occasions when you can actually find compatible computers and plug in the cables and find 2 copies of Dungeon Keeper and actually play with people and have like an actual LAN party, it's a super fun, sporadic game. But unfortunately, I never got to that point.
I'm glad that it took you less than a minute to answer that question, though. I'm very happy.
Really, I mean, it's therapeutic. Single player mode is amazing. You can play the multiplayer levels against the computers, which are actually kind of stupid.
Yeah.
They're easy to exploit. So that's where the fun in that is taken out. But you're sitting there, you're building rooms. It's almost very Sims-esque. You know, you're bringing in monsters to their new homes. You know, you're the bad guy. You know, you're not the good guy.
Yeah.
And in a plot twist, you even kill the Avatar from Ultima 7, the Black Gate, right?
Yeah.
That's the final boss of the game, is the sprite for the Avatar. I don't know how they got away with it, because Bullfrog is not associated with Origin at all.
Huh.
But it was the actual sprite, and it just made for a really epic game. And then Electronic Arts, damn it, Electronic Arts, they buy things, they pick it up, and they mutilate it. They bought out Dungeon Keeper. They made Dungeon Keeper 2. It was absolutely deplorable in comparison. Just, it leaves a sour taste in my mouth. And that's kind of a trend with Electronic Arts, I've noticed. I mean, they make all the exclusive sports games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, always crap.
Hey,
you know, they
did
it with Maxis. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So you know, they axed Maxis. I think they bought out. What's the logo with like that sort of like outline of a face? It sounds like Triton or I don't know. They bought that out.
What game did they make?
I think they made Volition. Yes.
Oh no, not Volition. That's Saints Row. That was THQ, and then THQ went bankrupt, and that's under. You mean Pandemic?
Epic Mega Games. I believe they own Tomb Raider, and Tomb Raider.
That's Square Enix.
Square Enix did Tomb Raider?
Square Enix, when
Didn't
Eidos
they
was bought by Square Enix.
Didn't Electronic Arts have it for a while? No, Epic Mega Games. They bought Epic Mega Games. Okay, Epic Mega Games did. What did Epic Mega Games do?
I think I didn't even.
Or did. Okay, there's something to look up. There's something.
Are you sure it's not Pandemic? Is it Pandemic?
Pandemic.
Like Mercenaries? With the face, they had the gas mask face.
Okay.
Is that one you're thinking, or no?
I think so. Yes, I think so.
Yeah, EA has done their share of absorbing and gutting out. Apparently, what I read recently is that almost all of the original BioWare folks left.
Really?
After, I guess, over the past few years. And BioWare's been part of EA since, I don't know, 2008 or 2009 or something like that. But...
And they did...
They did Mass Effect. And they've done Dragon Age.
Mass Effect, a game that I need to play.
Mass Effect is a fantastic game. I think you can see the change. 2007 was the first Mass Effect that was solely BioWare before EA took over. And that's a fantastic game. You can see the thoroughness in the RPG mechanics and the story is fantastic, and the scope of the game, being in the Mako and being on the planets and driving around, that's so cool and that's so awesome. And then you get to the second one, which is BioWare under EA, and you can see that they took away a little bit of the RPG elements, but the story is still super tight. You've got Martin Sheen voicing in the game. He's the elusive man, which is fantastic. Mass Effect is great. The third one, luckily I played that after they got the DLC to fix the ending, so I had a good time with Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect overall is great. Dragon Age, that's a very different game. It's not quite Mass Effect, but I'm still trying to get my way through Inquisition, and that's a very tight game too. So some things EA has done well, some things EA's kind of messed up on. In their defense of the sports game, however, FIFA 15 is a very good game. I have to defend that one. I think it's
just wait till FIFA 16
because the thing
out.
is, I haven't played FIFA since FIFA 10, so I'm coming in with new graphics engine, new stuff, and I think it's fantastic. But the year after year after year, I mean, you have to be crazy to buy $60 game, and it's just I can imagine that it's exactly the same as FIFA 14.
Okay,
but
that's fair.
If you take a few years off and you come back, that's great.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be a substantial upgrade.
A substantial upgrade to the eyes and just everything.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of EA Sports, though, they're bringing back the PGA Tour franchise, and this will be the first year without Tiger Woods. Instead, they've signed up Rory McIlroy, who is the current world number one.
Okay,
in golf.
He's been in the news a lot.
Yeah,
and I think they even mentioned that he's the new Tiger Woods.
I saw the one of the news reports. I think I was watching Bloomberg because they just happen to have it on where I work at, and it's called Rory McIlroy PGA Tour 15, and it's made off the Frostbite 3 engine, which is the same engine for Battlefield, and they've got some real life courses like TPC, Sawgrass, And they've got some fake fantasy courses as well, like some made-up Battlefield-like course. So it's an interesting mix of real and fantasy, but, golf is golf, and this will be my first time playing a golf game since I don't know when. Tiger Woods 98. And for PlayStation.
I think the last golf game I played was golf for NES.
Of course, yes. But this is going to be so interesting. I always get a kick of making your own athletes and your own folks and giving them the highest godlike points so that they can absolutely crush the competition, and you let them loose. I think I get a kick out of that. That's my thing.
And the player has picked the 5-iron. Ooh, and he's swinging backwards with his eyes closed, and it's in! Hole in one! He's beating a par 2.
And what's he doing now? He's beheading the competition.
He is literally beheading the competition. His golf club is an axe, ladies and gentlemen.
That reminds me. Terminator Genesis.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Don't get me started.
Why not?
Oh, I mean, that's a good thing. I love Terminator.
I love Terminator too. This is an alternate timeline, okay? Kyle Reese comes back, and he finds out that not just Sarah Connor can fight, but Arnold is there. Whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Sarah already has a Terminator with her, and Kyle Reese, this is nothing what he expected. So this is going back to 1988 or whatnot of the first Terminator in an alternate timeline with all this new stuff happening. And I think the Terminator, the Terminator now, the T-800 that's coming to kill Sarah Connor is an Asian Terminator. I think that's from the trailer. So that's going to be very interesting. An Asian Terminator. Like, not a metal guy.
I need your moped, your chopsticks, and your sweet and sour pork. You didn't say please.
You didn't say please. It's in 1988. Get out of my store.
Sir, this is a bank.
But that comes out when? I think it's July or June.
That's going to be wonderful.
You've got so many great movies this year. You've got Avengers. It's coming out in a little more than a month. April 30th, 1st or whatnot is the midnight release. Of course, its official release is on May 1st. But that's going to be fantastic, I'm sure. And
Jurassic World.
Jurassic World with Chris Pine. No, what's his name? We can't even remember this guy's name.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. I couldn't think of anyone better.
Terminator. Yeah. And then we've got Star Wars. Episode 7. Whoa.
And I'm just going to throw this out there. I saw the SpongeBob movie in 3D.
Whoa, how was that?
That's right. Well, it was like the Duke Nukem Forever of SpongeBob movies.
Would you at least play his game, though? I mean, aren't you going to play his game?
You know, I've actually... my understanding is there are some really good SpongeBob games out there.
I did play
some very good reviews.
Back on the PS2, it was some SpongeBob game, but I had a good time with it.
Really?
Not going to lie, yeah, definitely.
Wonderful.
I'll show you it after. If I remember.
I do have a good story associated with the SpongeBob movie.
Tell it, please.
So I actually had some spare time. I mean, spare time, invaluable.
What?
So I decided to take myself out for a date. Right?
Did you pick a guy up on Craigslist, or was it just you?
No, it was just me. That's
okay.
Right. Went to Walgreens, got some cheap theater candy. It was on sale, 88 cents for the big boxes.
Excellent.
Emptied out the purse, loaded up the purse. Went to Arizona Mills in Tempe. To the theater, the Harkins Theater there. Paid $10.25 for the ticket. Got my disposable 3D glasses. It's about 11:15 in the afternoon. I walk in the theater. Not a single person in there, and I was late.
That's how I do it.
And I sat there, and I'm like, I was like the guy from Gladiator. I'm like, am I entertained? Is this for me? Like, I'm talking to God. Like, did I really just get the entire theater to myself? Because I've honestly been waiting 5 years for this movie. Okay, they actually announced it back in. Actually, right after the SpongeBob movie, which was about year 2010.
Okay.
Right? And it was supposed to come out in the summer of 2013. 2013. And so the summer of 2013 comes along, and it's like, oh, no, you don't get SpongeBob. You have to wait until the summer of
They make you wait.
2015. And it's like, oh my gosh, I have to wait 2 more years to see this movie. And I'll tell you, it was really good. It was brilliantly done. I feel it satisfied all of the older generation of SpongeBob fans, who saw the very first episodes, and all the way up to when SpongeBob evolved and got more crazy and kooky and like Family Guy-ish almost, or Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah.
Where it's just like outrageous stuff happens. They pull it out of their ass. They even brought back the My Leg guy. In early episodes of SpongeBob, it was like the Wilhelm scream. If something fell over, there would be this guy in the background going, "My leg!" And at one point in the seasons, they just stopped it with that running joke. They stopped with the running gag, and it was actually really refreshing to hear "My leg" again in this movie that I waited 5 years for. It had a really good plot. It had all the characters there. It was a shame because the trailers were really misleading. 90% of the scenes to the trailers that you would see on television or see at previews for other movies, it wasn't actually scenes that existed in the movie. Things that he said, areas that he was in.
Yeah.
A lot of it was in CGI. But really, most of the movie was animated in classic SpongeBob style. It was really sweet. They didn't introduce outside characters to make a story arc. They actually built upon old SpongeBob story arcs, and SpongeBob and Plankton end up having to team up to get the Krabby Patty secret formula back.
From the humans, right?
Yeah, from the humans. And
I guessed it.
You are absolutely right.
Wow,
And
I think I wrote the movie, actually.
It was done so brilliantly well. I can't believe that I had such a wonderful experience getting to watch the movie. Center aisle, middle row, and then those metal bars, that keep you from falling over. Just got to kick my feet up, use it like a recliner.
Oh
got the
God.
best 3D view, no crying babies, no couples making out, no teenagers on their cell phone, no...
I am so glad for you. It was divine.
It was the best 1025 I ever spent in my life. And after the movie, I had tears in my eyes. I was so happy. I went up to the manager and I shook her hand and thanked her. Yeah, she probably thought it was a little weird, but she gave you,
what happened?
This grown woman walking up to her like, that SpongeBob movie was so beautiful, thank you. Just shaking her hand like, oh.
Then she gave you a free ticket, put it in your hand, and say, "Listen, you're pathetic. Go and see Liam Neeson's movie right now."
She gave me a restraining order. She said, "Never come back. Do never get in touch with my family. I am in fear for my life." No.
Did you then went to see Liam Neeson's movie?
No.
Oh.
I didn't. I only had so much time.
Actually,
but,
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't even seen Taken 3.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to wait until all of it is online. Instant video, Redbox, whatever. I live under a rock. But I'm thinking about maybe going out.
I would love if there was a Taken spin-off, but it had Harrison Ford in it.
Apparently he was in Expendables 3, which I missed. Harrison Ford was.
Really?
And then he crash-landed a plane on a golf course, apparently, in the news.
That's right. Right. My understanding is he survived, though.
He did, and what was it? Bruce Willis applauds him, or somebody came out and said, "I believe in his aviation skills. He's the best pilot I know. I would ride in a plane with Harrison Ford." I'm like, you go, man. Somebody well-known, apparently a co-star of his on the Expendables 3 said this. I forget who, but...
And what monster would we be without the mention of Leonard Nimoy's passing?
Yes, that happened while we were off. That's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
He's on an island somewhere.
That's right. He lived long. He prospered.
He is now prospering. He live long and prosper.
I was going to prepare myself. I even looked up what voices Leonard Nimoy has done potentially for video games.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot. Mostly,
Star Trek games, maybe.
Yeah, and pretty much every time he's ever used his voice for anything, he was in a Star Trek game in some way, shape, or form.
Was he in Star Trek
He's
Online?
really been Spock his entire career, and I didn't really notice that. My understanding is he's actually directed a few movies.
I could believe that. Maybe in a few episodes, maybe too. Do you know?
And I
Because what's that guy?
some of them are very familiar. I should have written them down. I didn't even think about it. But yes, he's actually directed some things that are pretty well known, and you'd be like, oh, I didn't know that it was him who did that movie.
Yeah, another well-known Star Trek actor, Jonathan Frakes, who's from The Next Generation. He's a director. He's done directing from various TV shows and movies.
Oh, okay, Riker.
Yeah, Riker, number 2.
Yeah, all right.
Number 2.
All right.
So he's another fun guy to look
fucking
at.
Riker.
I know. He's awesome.
The beard.
The beard.
That's right. What was it like? How's the rule go? If he doesn't have a beard, it's a bad episode. If he does have a beard, it's a good episode.
Whatever the rule is, I have forgotten it because I haven't seen a single episode in years, which it should be a crime. I should be executed for that. Because normally it's one of those shows I have to come back to and watch an episode or two or an entire season because it's Patrick Stewart, it's Riker, it's the woman with the accent. I love it all. I have to watch it.
They should really bring back Picard and Riker in a spin-off series, sort of like McHale's Navy.
And guess who would want one in on that? Wesley Crusher, too. Huh?
There we go. He's the little buddy.
Not anymore.
Oh, poor Wesley.
Poor Wesley. I think he has some kind of internet fame now. He's doing
right. That's right. He does.
Yeah.
Doesn't he do like voice acting or voice impressions or something like that?
I have no idea. I think the most impressive voice acting kind of career I've ever heard of. Guy that started off kind of small, became a big known actor from a role, and then kind of moved his way into voice acting is our man Luke Skywalker, aka the voice of Joker.
That's
in the DC
right.
Animated,
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I say that because his name eludes me at the moment, and it's so idiotic.
When I hear the Joker, I think of Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill?
And he lended his voice to a lot of LucasArts adventure games, too. So
oh, yeah.
I also, when I hear Mark Hamill, I think of all the other characters that he voiced in previous LucasArts iterations. Back when LucasArts was good.
Back when LucasArts was around. I think now Disney has just kind of disappeared the entire thing. The entire organization's pretty much gone, I think.
It'd be like buying a collectible and peeling the sticker off.
It's a shame that LucasArts and Lucas Games are gone. Because guess who actually has the license to make Star Wars games?
Oh dear.
It's EA.
No!
No, you should be...
you damn dirty apes!
Did you play Star Wars Battlefront? Or was that,
Not Battlefront. The only LucasArts Star Wars game that I played and liked was Dark Forces.
Alright,
and,
so
that was around the Doom generation when it was like everyone was trying to outdo Doom, and it was actually fairly decent. It actually is very reminiscent of Halo.
Yeah.
Like, in a way. It feels a lot like Halo. But honestly, that's kind of when it took a crap. At that point, it was like, they had the success with Dark Forces, then they're like Dark Forces 2, and then they're like, okay, well, we'll make Grim Fandango, and then they're like, okay, let's throw out like 10 more Star Wars games.
No, they had Bounty Hunter was a good game. I liked that game, and then they had Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, which was a good game. But it's outside of the 90s, so I don't think you played that one. You missed out on that one.
Who did Star Wars Online?
Star Wars Galaxies?
Yeah, Star Wars Galaxies.
That was a Sony Online.
That was Sony?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then the Old Republic is BioWare, which is EA right now.
Okay.
But Battlefront is being re-released or revamped and something like that. It's going to be a totally new game like Battlefield-ish, coming out later this year, supposedly. My hopes are non-existent for the game. It's going to be buggy. It's going to be completely online. I'm expecting the worst, but it's going to be awesome though because it's Star Wars,
Oh my God.
That's right.
I can't help myself, but I fear the worst as far as the quality of the game is concerned.
The games aren't bad when they don't rely too much on the license itself.
This one's relying completely on the license. I'm sure it's going to be Battlefield, just wallpapered in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Battlefront 2 was pretty awesome. You had the space battles, and you could go into the ships, and it was just, that game was amazing. The Battlefront, I think Pandemic actually did them. Those were fantastic games.
And Star Wars can be a really good catalyst for telling a story, setting up a play. I mean, the characters are familiar, people can relate to them, they can empathize with them. It's very easy to tell a story with it.
The universe is vast. There's various novels out there. Even Star Wars, The Old Republic, which BioWare did, or the Knights of the Old Republic. That was great.
I have played that one. Mm-hmm.
The one, what? Or two?
I believe it was 2, and I didn't get very far.
Oh no! Because that one was Obsidian.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay. But just the stories that, of course, that are in the Star Wars universe. It's able to be captivating.
Didn't that have the Mass Effect sentence selection system where you could determine different outcomes?
Yeah,
something along those lines.
Yeah, that was one of the. That was a feature that was in there. You could choose different lines and stuff like that, and your character didn't have a voice, but
the silent protagonist.
I always love games that have silent characters. Like, is this real? Like, can I be a mute? And
exactly,
people are still going to talk to me and be interested in talking with me if I'm a mute. Like, what? WTF?
And it's like you select yes or no. They always nod or shake.
Hold on,
and it's like you've just had a 6-page conversation with this person, and they yes or no, nod, and nobody thinks that's strange.
Nobody thinks that's strange, and they're still going to talk to you.
Silent guy runs inside your house, throws pots against the wall, takes your money, and then runs out.
And
then you put the pots back. Same guy runs back in, throws the pots around, takes your hearts you put there.
I completely forgot what I was going to say.
I have that effect.
I know.
I'm worse than alcohol. I kill more brain cells than alcohol.
I know this. I'm getting that feeling. It's terrible. But Star Wars, that's coming. Oh, I wanted to add a list to the movies that are coming out this year. Spectre, the James Bond movie, that's coming out later this year as well.
Oh, okay.
Which, another Bond movie.
I noticed that in the media they've been bringing back Pierce Brosnan as Bond cameos, like in commercials and that sort of thing. Do you think they're going to bring back the GoldenEye franchise again?
Guess what I'm going to say? I don't have cables, so I'm afraid I didn't see this commercial.
I know that, but he's been like making a comeback as like Bond, right? And it's like I wonder if they're warming us up for something.
When Hugo Weaving was doing the Agent Smith commercial for GE for the the hospital commercial with Agent Smith.
Oh, I vaguely remember that.
I was thinking that maybe they were bringing back the Matrix too. I think it might be more of a marketing kind of ploy, but one could only hope. I mean, GoldenEye. I'm feeling a little stopped up now, but but GoldenEye was re-released or remastered for the Wii a few years ago, which was a very good port. I heard
it was pretty good too.
Yeah, they can definitely redo GoldenEye. Why not? It's next generation. They can just. It seems to be a thing for the industry to kind of remake games over and over and over again and deliver to us. So why not? But I'd like to have a fresh GoldenEye experience. Like Double Agent, which was something on the PS2, which was an original kind of game where you played as Alex Trevekian, Sean Bean's character, I think, and you progress through an alternative kind of timeline in that game. And I remember playing that game quite a few times, going through story mode over and over and over again, because that was such a fun game with the dual wielding of the weapons and stuff like that, and interacting with other Bond villains. I think Goldfinger was in the game too. So it was really a great experience. But I think they should just make another Bond game, really. It doesn't have to be GoldenEye. It could just be something other than Legends, because Legends was stupid. It was terrible.
I was gonna say, you want the original experience. Definitely the one on the Nintendo 64.
Oh, yeah.
But then, see, I hype myself up. Like, oh yeah, I would love to play it 4-player split-screen multiplayer action, and then you actually, like, play it, and it's like, Jesus Christ, it makes Final Fantasy VII's polygons look like Rembrandt.
That shows how dated you are.
It's very dated. It's very dated.
And I like it.
For some reason, my childhood mind is thinking of these epic battles that I had, and then I look back to it, and it's like, yes, I'm running forward.
I just think about the
The
childhood.
camera's bouncing a little bit. Yes.
And barely legal EverQuest.
EverQuest. That's right.
To EverQuest.
To EverQuest.
Hopefully
yes.
she's still a virgin.
That's right. She's on the corner of 52nd and Van Ness, wearing herself out right now.
I think she's at the Metro Center Mall of I-17. I think she is she's waiting for her next meeting.
Dear John, her next John.
Her next John.
That's right.
Maybe might bring her to the Renaissance Fair when I go down this weekend. Hopefully she responds to my Craigslist ad. I'm a very lonely man.
Oh, come on now. Why, you have your lovely co-host Leah at Sphinx Gamer.
I have my lovely co-host, yes.
That's right. That's right. You could be sending me more cute cat pictures. I'm just saying.
Okay. I wonder where I'm going to get a cat from.
That's a good question.
I think I might be allergic to cats too, so I'll be wearing the Ebola mask when I'm going out to catch these cats so I can take pictures of them.
Oh, he's hugging a kitten in an Ebola suit. Left swipe that.
Let's call the CDC. What about dog pictures?
Dog pictures. Sounds rough,
I always
but I'll
wanted to
try
have
it.
a dog, a Siberian Husky. Those are just something that I just fall in love with when I see them.
They shed. They're like mops.
They're like mops.
Yeah, they're like mops. You get them wet and they're like mops. Clean your kitchen floor.
That's what I was just thinking. So, I mean, I don't even know what else are we to talk about. You have a note thing there, but you didn't even read any of the notes.
Right. Yes. So last time we spoke, I mentioned an Easter egg in a video game.
What?
That I had discovered myself from Wizard 101.
Wizard 101.
And it was on Dopefish.
Okay.
And Dopefish is, well, it's like the Wilhelm scream or the My Leg guy from SpongeBob. It's like a running joke Easter egg. It's like, okay, you just have to put it in there just for fun, right? And Dopefish first appeared in Commander Keen 4, and I should know the appropriate title, but I believe it's Goodbye Galaxy. But let me open up my
good thing you've got notes.
My iPad .0001
Windows 88.
That's right. That's 0 RAM.
Surface
12
tablet.
12 megahertz processor. Okay.
Pictures of EverQuest.
Okay. So Dopefish was originally an enemy from Apogee's game Commander Keen Goodbye Galaxy. Okay. He was in a level called the Well of Wishes, and he was basically a giant green fish, with very small flippers, very small fins, and a big fat body, and big buck teeth. And in the manual, it described him as a creature whose brain function is simply swim, swim, eat, swim, swim, eat. And that's exactly how he would perform in the game. Is he would swim once, swim twice, and then bite at you, and then swim
He's
once.
like that Pokemon,
and then swim
Magnecarp.
twice. Exactly, right? It's
Yeah.
like if they could. It's like if Dopefish could say his name, but he does it in Dopefish language, sign language.
With fins.
But Dopefish has actually appeared in numerous games besides Commander Keen, as we saw from last week's episode. He was originally... See, game companies are known for putting their characters as Easter eggs in other games in their franchise. So originally, Apogee put Dopefish in their game Wacky Wheels as an Easter egg, and Rise of the Triad as an Easter egg and a secret message. And the secret message is Dopefish lives. Okay, so it became kind of a running joke. It started to appear in other games not related to Commander Keen. Some early notable ones is Duke Nukem 3D, in which Dopefish lives was plastered in an inaccessible area in the shareware version of the game. Apparently it was removed from the final game. If I remember correctly, it now says, "You shouldn't be here," or something to that effect. But 3D Realms is basically the love child of Apogee games, so that's appropriate. He actually did appear as an enemy and an Easter egg in the Commander Keen Game Boy game, the Game Boy Color game.
Oh.
Dopefish Lives, the quote, appeared in Quake 1. There was a homage in Doom... Okay, so in Doom 2, there's a secret level that's based off of the Wolfenstein franchise. And in order to complete the level, you have to murder 4 Commander Keens. Okay, I know that sounds incredibly bizarre, but it's one of those things that you would have to see to understand. And so as a homage to that, in Quake 2, you can find a secret with a dead hanging Dopefish as sort of like a low jab back from id, killing Apogee's Commander Keen and Apogee becoming 3D Realms, then taking the jab back at them. So that was kind of funny. Max Payne. I have actually played Max Payne. I like Max Payne. I like the game mechanics.
I do
introduced the new bullet time game mechanic, which I think is kind of overused a little bit, but it's there. And it was there as a graffiti with the statement "Swim, swim, eat." So someone had spray painted Dopefish on the brick wall with "Swim, swim, eat." And here's an interesting Easter egg. This actually kind of breaks the fourth wall in the video game world. Okay, have you ever heard of Steven Spielberg's Tiny Toon Adventures?
No.
Okay, it's basically they took Looney Tunes and they made like children version of the Looney Tunes, and they went to like Looney Tunes school, and their teachers were the original Looney Tunes. It's actually kind of a clever show.
That's interesting.
But the child version of the Tasmanian Devil once had an intelligence test, and the intelligence test meter showed his intelligence somewhere in between Dopefish and a fried chicken leg. Yeah. And I've confirmed it. I looked at the clip on online, and it really does exist.
That's funny.
And surprisingly, so now that we're out of the 21st century, or the 20th century for that matter, in the 21st century, Dopefish has actually made a return as Easter eggs in modern games. He was drawn on a marker board in the Black Mesa game, the Half-Life 1 remake.
The mod?
Mm-hmm. The mod,
okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. On the level Questionable Ethics, on a marker board.
Huh.
Dopefish drawn on a marker board. In The Sims 4, when you're practicing art with your Sims and they draw little doodles on their easels, okay, one of the doodles can be Dopefish.
Oh, that's nice.
Right. That's right. And this is Electronic Arts. Okay, so that was very nice of them. In Dead Rising 2, Dopefish is a menu item at a restaurant behind the counter at Benny Jack's Barbecue Shack.
I'll have to find out.
Yes. Now I have played Dead Rising 1. I haven't played Dead Rising 2, so I have not seen it in person. But I imagine Benny Jack's Barbecue Shack poses some significance. So anyone who's played Dead Rising 2 would probably know what I'm talking about. So hey, check it out. And in Alan Wake.
Oh
Alan
my,
Wake.
that's actually wrapped up in the box there. Hasn't been played yet.
Yep. And it is a
Yet.
guidepost. It is on a guide poster to fish.
Huh.
Yeah, so you'll have your trout, you'll have your carp, and you'll have your dopefish.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so Dopefish continues to live.
Dopefish lives?
Has been around since the 80s and continues to dominate itself as an Easter egg in modern day.
That is so cool.
Just like the Wilhelm scream does.
Yeah. Okay. Long live Dopefish. We'll see him again.
That's right.
Hopefully.
right.
Probably.
We'll see Dopefish again. This isn't the last we've seen of Dopefish.
He's like that rash that just continues to pop up.
That's right. That's right. And as a little treat, okay, and I'm glad we're drinking for this because I wouldn't do this under normal circumstances.
Uh-oh.
But in the Commander Keen game, which Dopefish first appeared, the Well of Wishes had a acoustic song playing in the background, okay? And it turns out that the song actually has lyrics, okay?
Oh.
And
You know the lyrics?
I
of the
do
song?
know the lyrics. I
Okay.
do know the lyrics. I don't even remember how I learned them. I just know it by heart. I just know that I learned it, and these are the actual lyrics.
Okay.
The title of the song is "You Have to Eat Your Vegetables." Okay? So you start the game, and it starts the tempo. Dun 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 dun. You have to eat your vegetables. Dun 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 dun. Do it now. Dun dun. You have to eat your vegetables. Take it, Daddy. Dun down down down. You have to eat your vegetables. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 do it now. Dun, 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 dun. You have to eat your vegetables. Dun, 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 take it, sis. Dun, 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 dun. You have to eat your vegetables. Na 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 na. Dun, 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 dun. And that is the end of the song.
Whoa.
And that plays on the Dopefish level. And actually, there was an homage to that in Rise of the Triad, when you would...
That's a catchy song, though.
It is a catchy song, yes. It would make a great ringtone.
I bet there's a YouTube video of it. I'll listen to it.
There probably is. There probably is. I highly implore anyone to look it up. To look it up.
You gotta
Absolutely.
eat your
You have to eat your
vegetables.
vegetables. Rise of the Triad did an homage to it. The composer, I believe of Wolfenstein, wrote a song called Polka Fish, based on Dopefish. And when you enter the level select cheat for Rise of the Triad, it plays Polka Fish. And it's actually a really catchy tune. And maybe that is something that I will pull up. And while I'm pulling it up...
Is it licensed by any chance?
It's a pretty old game. RPG. That's not important then. Look it up!
Yeah.
Look up. It's called Fish Polka. Very catchy tune.
Fish Polka.
Fish Polka. Absolutely. The good old days.
Your time period, your day.
That's right.
Where were you when you played Dead Rising?
It was Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And I was visiting my cousin's family for Thanksgiving on my mother's side of the family. And I don't know what you would call him, my cousin-in-law, my cousin's husband, he had Dead Rising. And, and we played it co-op. So the two of us, and then I didn't get past the apartment level. I mean, I had seen a lot of Let's Plays, of people playing the apartment level, and I'm like, oh, well, they make it look easy. So it's like when the chips were thrown down, it was like, oh my god, I have no idea what I'm doing.
The apartment level of Dead Rising 1?
Yeah, it was on fire, and maybe that was Dead Rising 2.
I can't even remember. It's the beer.
Yeah. There was an apartment on fire.
There's an apartment on fire.
I don't know which Dead Rising it is. Oh, mercy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it. I can't remember. Did it look like a mall? I don't think there's a part of Dead Rising with the mall on fire, because it all takes place at a mall in Dead Rising 1.
Oh, you know what? Okay, this is silly. I'm thinking of Left 4 Dead.
That would probably make sense. Yeah, that's the first level of Left 4 Dead. I remember.
Okay. Yeah.
That's okay. We're all laughing.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
I'm here to kill traffic, people.
So, I guess that's it, right? We've got.
Yeah,
we went through quite a few beer.
Yeah, this is Sierra Nevada Harvest Wild Hop IPA and Sierra Nevada Harvest Single Hop IPA. Recommended by 2 out of 2 internet podcast hosts. That's right.
Yes.
Come on down to the Renaissance Festival before it ends. Come to Queen's Kitchen, the best kitchen. Say hello to me.
I'll bring a Craigslist date.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah, we sloshed these things down for our hour and 40-minute show, just about.
Wonderful. And listen, if you can't find anyone, I know a cute pillow that you will just adore.
How about I invite EverQuest over? And we'll both go down together for some chicken legs and funnel cake.
You'll love the funnel cake. Ye old funnel cake.
I'll have to get some to go or something.
We deep fry them in the clean chamber pots.
Jeez.
Yes, that's right.
Mouth is watering.
Endorsed by the queen herself.
I might be down this weekend.
Wonderful. And as always, tickets are discounted at Fry's. Little ironic fact, Fry's will not cash checks from the Renaissance Festival, but they endorse it.
That sucks for the wenches that work there.
Yeah. So you gotta have a bank, but they offer discounted tickets. I believe they're $22 a pop, and discounted they're $20 a pop.
Okay.
There's some 2-for-1 coupons still floating around at different businesses. I'm not entirely sure, but I do know that they exist. And definitely come out, check out the Joust.
Yes.
Check out the Dead Bob show.
Yes.
If you're into who's the ventriloquist guy, Jeff Dunham or something like that. He has like Allah Akbar, a little skeleton. I kill you.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Dead Bob show is kind of like that.
Okay.
There's an amazing guy who.
Will I find some necrophilia there?
There are a few executioners walking around, and sometimes some plague carts pull up asking to bring out your dead.
Okay.
That actually came out of left field for me. I mean, I thought I had seen it all, and this happened about 2 weeks ago when the executioner cart rolls up, and it was actually a very well-made cart. I mean, somebody spent a lot of money on good quality solid oak to make this very functional, very mobile cart.
Oh.
So, just to wander around saying "bring out your dead." But so there's a lot of committed people there. You'll have a blast for free just wandering around.
There's no entrance fee.
The tickets.
Okay,
the tickets.
Yeah,
For example, there's a guy who gives out free insults. Okay, insults. get your free insults over here, right?
That's funny.
So I walk up to this guy, and I say, my lord, my liege saith my ass is not big enough. What dost thou think? He looks down at me. He looks back up at me. He says, well, it doth have thine own zip code. I'm like, ooh, like, just like, ooh, I needed some ice for that burn, right?
Yeah.
But I asked for it. And the other day I saw him, the last time I worked, I saw him, insults for sale, and I was thinking, oh, what could I say to this guy? And I couldn't think of anything clever, so I just say, I needeth an insult, and like a whip, like he turns around and cracks back, yo, an insult to Mother Nature. I'm like, wow, this guy, wow, right?
He's just knocking you down pegs.
That's right. It's quite the experience. There's a lot of good free shows. There's a guy who he has predatory birds. You know, he does a display. There's a gentleman who makes their own. They actually make their own whips, leather whips.
Whoa!
But he has two 16-feet long whips that he lights on fire and cracks fire whips and performs a show.
Okay.
Yeah, there is the actual joust, you know, the stereotypical joust that all Renaissance fairs have to have, you know. And I won't give anything away, okay, but yes, some of it is scripted, but for the most part, it's like a chess game. My understanding is that when you do jousting at a Renaissance festival, there is actually a set of rules in place, like that are common ground jousting participant rules, and it's almost like a sport. You know, they travel around to different Renaissance festivals, and you know they perform these jousts.
Yeah.
But it's almost like scripted chess. You know, like maybe like WWF. You know, like
WWE?
You know it's or WWE. Excuse me. Okay, yes, I am a little dated. Just a hint. Okay.
Stone Cold Steve Austin would appreciate it.
What's that, brother?
Oh my.
All right. What's that, Rent-A-Center? No. Yeah, you'll have a really good time at the joust. It's like a it's like a scripted dance. It's like who can out-tango the other person without breaking the set rules by the joust.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always a treat to watch.
Very, very entertaining. Mm-hmm. Lots of delicious junk food.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Lots of really awesome shops. A little hint: there is actually a bondage shop there, but let's put it this way: you have to kind of be watching out for it. So,
that's what I was thinking of when you were mentioning the whip guy. Like, is this S&M? Can I watch S&M? Is this good for viewers or something like that?
Like, you know, I don't know. I really don't know. The Renaissance Festival is an experience quite like anything other. I mean, it's like if you took if you took like video game conventions and Comic-Con conventions and action figure conventions and any other nerdy conventions you can think of, bronies, furries, guys who dress up like little girls. Yes. I mean, everyone and anyone is there. I think my favorite costume, this guy dressed up like a soldier from Stargate. Yeah. It was so appropriate and just beautifully executed. I was like, it was like an angel's kiss. Just getting one glance at this guy. I wish I had a camera. I wish I could have ran out, taken a picture. But it was amazing cosplay. He did really well. He even had the fake rifle. I don't even know how they let him walk in with it. But this dude walked around with a fake rifle all day.
At the Renaissance Fair?
Yeah, dressed up like a soldier from Stargate. Amazing cosplay. There are some really devoted actors there. There's a hunchback. He'll give you a good scare every now and then.
That's what makes it so special.
Yeah, there's a minotaur there. Oh, excuse me. I don't want to insult the minotaur.
No,
he's actually a tauren wolf.
Okay.
Yes, tauren wolf, not a minotaur. Yes, he did get slightly offended when I asked if he was a labyrinth minotaur or a mountain minotaur, but he said he wasn't a minotaur at all. So I felt kind of bad. I insulted the minotaur a little bit.
Yeah, you could have.
Yeah,
could have been stomped.
That's right. And here I am. I'm still calling him a minotaur. See, I triggered the minotaur.
He's going to hear this in his shack.
That's right.
He's going to get you.
He's going to get on minotaurs on Tumblr, and you wouldn't believe what happened today.
I believe it. Well, we got to wrap this up because I got to go pee from all this beer.
That's right.
But I will be at the Renaissance Fair. Maybe say hi.
Absolutely.
Or,
absolutely.
That would be fantastic because it's always a special thing because these people put their hearts and souls into it. You can feel the love. It's great.
You know what? And that's the great thing. And you're absolutely right because you're either going to have a job you love that's going to pay you shit, or a job you hate that's going to pay you very well. And people at the Renaissance Festival, who work for the Renaissance Festival, it's not like they get paid extraordinary amounts of money, but they're getting paid in the experience. They're getting paid in wonderful memories that are going to last an absolute
great
lifetime.
Role playing.
Exactly. Because you have to be in character, and it's a lot of fun. So being an employee there, I'm having an absolute blast, and it's only 2 days a week.
Boom.
If anyone out there who's considering doing it, just do it. Tell your workplace, hey, I'm not going to be available for 2 months on weekends only because I'm going to be working at the Renaissance Festival. And I guarantee you do a good job. You will have a blast. You will have an absolute blast. And to our listeners out there who might be interested in going to the Renaissance Festival with these last 2 weeks, the last day will be the 29th, the last weekend. And just grab a ticket for yourself. And you do the same, Robert. Just...
Definitely.
If you can't find anyone, you can have a good time by yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, because you're not lonely there. You're sharing in the experience. The actors are going to look at you and recognize you, and you're going to be part of the fun.
Yeah.
You'll have a really good time. It's not like it was designed for specifically couples or specifically families or specifically cosplayers. It's really, every walk of life, every stereotype you could think of, paraplegics, quadriplegics, short people, very, very obese people, very, very tall people, people with very dramatic piercings or very dramatic tattoos. It's like all walks of life are accepted in this sort of bizarro community. And it's really enthralling because you think, gosh, if only society were more like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
If only we lived in a simpler time like this. I'm not saying abandoning television or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
But having a little more fun with life and having a little more fun next to your fellow human and realizing you're not truly alone, it's a wonderful experience. So I highly implore anyone listening.
I will get under that. I will get away from the rock. I will get from under the rock.
Please do.
And tell others to do the same.
Absolutely.
You're right.
Absolutely.
Well, folks, thank you so much for listening. We will be back very, very soon with another episode. But thank you so much for listening, whether you're listening to us on Stitcher or Pure TV or iTunes or any channel. We thank you so much. And also to get involved on the site, Sphinx Gamer, get yourself an account and get involved in the forums. And look forward to some more active content coming soon. Twitch stream is coming on. Like that Twitter so you know what's going on with the site. And we'll see what's coming on over the hill later.
Yeah, and if there's any lurkers out there, because I know there are people listening. I know we joke about our grandmothers and mothers and that sort of thing being the only ones listening. But I know you lurkers are out there. So please do not hesitate to speak up. As a matter of fact, I just... signed up for the message board, so you know what? I will start a post introducing myself formally, and I implore anyone listening to please do the same. And hey, thanks for having me as a part of Sphinx Gamer, and hey, thanks for letting me use your beer mug.
Yeah,
this was nice.
These are nice beer mugs.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome, Leah. See you guys all next week.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.